Mia Marcano was a 19-year-old girl who was born in Pembroke Park, Florida, to Marlon and Emma. She had a younger brother named Marlon Jr., whom she affectionately called Munchie. Her parents separated when she was young. Despite this, the family remained close, and Mia also had a good relationship with her stepmother Giselle. Mia took great care of her brother and was known for her protective nature and adventurous spirit. Her vibrant energy drew people to her. After high school, Mia chose to stay in Florida, attending the University of Central Florida before transferring to Valencia College to pursue an associate degree in arts. She had aspirations to enter sports medicine or physiotherapy and had a strong passion for fashion and design. She was also an active participant in local carnival festivities. Mia lived at the Arden Villas apartment complex, where most residents were fellow students. She worked at the same place as a part-time apartment leasing agent, allowing her to balance work with her studies. Although she was just an hour's flight away from her family, she often returned home to spend time with them. On September 24, 2021, Mia was supposed to fly home for the weekend. When she failed to text her family about her arrival or boarding, they grew concerned. By 9:30 p.m., her family, unable to reach her, reported her missing to the police and requested a welfare check. Deputy Samir Paulino arrived at Arden Villas around 10 p.m. and noticed nothing unusual from the outside. After waiting for her roommates, he entered Mia's apartment. They knocked on her bedroom door, but she did not answer. When they tried to open it, they found it locked from the inside. Looking through the window, the deputy saw a bookcase blocking the door. So he went to her window and opened it to enter the room. Inside, the room was a mess with red stains on the pillows, her bedding scattered, and luggage packed for the trip. Marlon, Mia's father, had installed extra locks on her windows, but they were broken. Some of her jewelry was damaged, and there was no sign of Mia. Despite the alarming scene, Deputy Samir spoke with his supervisor, Corporal Kenneth, about the situation. However, neither of them contacted the Criminal Investigations Division. Samir then left the scene to handle other calls, failing to report the possible evidence of a crime he had discovered inside the apartment. Mia's roommate was worried and disturbed by the situation and quickly provided the police with a name called Armando Caballero, a maintenance worker at the complex. Mia had been increasingly uncomfortable due to his persistent attention. Despite rejecting his advances multiple times, he continued to pursue her, even sending her $700 through Cash App, which she immediately returned. Mia had become frightened, unsure how to handle his behavior. Other women at the complex shared similar experiences with him, and police were gathering more reports about his troubling actions. In one instance, another woman recalled how Armando had sent her a note asking her on a date earlier in the year, though she hesitantly agreed to go. But when she later declined a meeting, he responded angrily. That same night, a weight was thrown at her window, and she believed it was him. She reported it to the police, but the case was eventually dropped and he was not charged. Meanwhile, as Mia's family arrived in the early morning hours to help with the search, they pointed out some concerning details that Deputy Samir hadn't noticed, including a yellow box under Mia's bed and her childhood teddy bear, which Mia always took with her, even on short trips. At around 4 a.m., the family was disturbed to see Armando showing up at the apartment. He had finished his shift and had no reason to be there, yet he showed up, causing Mia's family further alarm. Given his previous actions and the ongoing investigation, his presence raised serious questions. Why was he inserting himself into the search for Mia? Detectives questioned Armando what he was doing here at this time, and he claimed he had been speaking with a coworker who had told him Mia was missing, which was why he had shown up at the complex. Mia's family was immediately suspicious, given everything they had learned about him. They pressed for answers, but Armando denied any involvement. He told officers that he hadn't seen Mia before she went missing. Despite the questions, he didn't provide any useful information at that time. Detectives didn't feel there was enough evidence for further questioning or arrest at the time, so Armando was allowed to leave the scene. However, a routine background check revealed concerning details about his past. In 2017, Armando had been convicted of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Earlier, in 2013, he had been arrested after causing property damage and discharging a weapon at Warner University, where he admitted to setting off an improvised explosive bomb as a prank in a dorm, though fortunately no one was injured. Meanwhile, a security guard at the complex had managed to collect fingerprints from Mia's window using tape, but Deputy Samir chose not to collect the evidence, claiming it wasn't a priority case and that the guard could keep it. The same guard also noticed a screwdriver and a phone case in Armando's car, but without a warrant, authorities couldn't search it. Orange County Sheriff John Mina later commented that there was insufficient evidence from the night's events or video footage to make an arrest or detain Armando at that point. A different deputy was later informed about Mia's case and visited her apartment at the request of her aunt. Disturbed by what he saw, he immediately contacted a missing persons detective, prompting a full investigation to begin on the morning of September 25th at 8:47 a.m. Mia's family, still suspicious of Armando, took matters into their own hands. They conducted their own surveillance and saw him emerge from his apartment carrying a glove, a backpack, and a pink blanket, one they instantly recognized. When the police arrived, Armando allowed Mia's family to enter his apartment with the police watching, though they were restricted from touching or moving anything as the search lacked a proper search warrant. Hours later, at 3 p.m., Armando left the apartment. By 4:30 p.m., police confirmed that he was now a prime suspect in Mia's disappearance. Authorities quickly began working to secure a proper search warrant. At 9:35 p.m. that night, Armando sent a cryptic text message. Shortly after, he disappeared, leaving everyone to wonder if Mia was being held somewhere, or if he had gone to move her, or worse, fled with her. It had been 3 agonizing days since Mia Marcano was last heard from. Mia's family was desperate for her return and clung to the hope that she might still be alive. They believed that something in the way Armando had been acting might give them a clue about her whereabouts. Some family members had traveled from South Florida to join local volunteers, all united in the effort to find Mia. Her father, speaking to the press, was visibly distraught. He shared how they would normally communicate multiple times a day, so not hearing from Mia had left him heartbroken. Despite the large number of volunteers scouring the area, Mia's whereabouts remained a mystery. A detailed analysis of her apartment revealed that a master key, not belonging to Mia, had been used to unlock her unit at 2:14 p.m. That key was linked to Armando. Additional checks showed that he had access to the apartment again at 4:34 p.m., and shortly after that, Mia buzzed into her unit, seemingly to grab her things before heading to the airport, a trip she never made. This timeline suggested that Armando was likely in her apartment waiting for her. By 5:52 p.m., his vehicle was seen leaving the Arden Villas complex, further solidifying his involvement. On September 27th, with mounting evidence, the police moved forward with burglary charges against Armando, though they knew more had happened, and they continued gathering information. However, just as they were preparing for an arrest, a shocking phone call altered the course of the investigation. A call came in reporting a body found in one of the garages at another apartment complex. The caller informed authorities that a male had been discovered, and they believed he had taken his own life. Police rushed to the location. The discovery of Armando Caballo's death took a tragic turn in the investigation, leaving both investigators and Mia's family with many unanswered questions. His death seemed to close off any chance of getting direct answers about what happened to Mia. Despite this, Mia's family refused to give up hope. They continued to follow every lead, including new video footage that surfaced showing a man, who was believed to be Armando, carrying Mia's belongings away from her apartment just the day after she went missing. In the meantime, Arden Villas management took steps to increase security on the property, including repositioning a guard at the front gate. However, residents shared that they hadn't noticed much change in the protocols, with some claiming the gate remained open long enough for multiple cars to pass without any scrutiny. As the search for Mia intensified, investigators turned to Armando's phone records for leads. They discovered he had logged a fake maintenance request for Mia's apartment just hours after she was last seen. He then attempted to gain access to the complex using the gate key to enter. Around 7:40 p.m., Armando left the complex, and further analysis of his phone data revealed he had spent time near an area called Timberscan, a place he had once lived. The area was known for being dangerous, with abandoned homes and overgrown land. It raised questions about why he would return there, especially for such a short amount of time. With the new lead pointing to this area, the search efforts shifted focus. The FBI became involved, assisting with the expanded search and investigation. After a week of intense searching, a heartbreaking discovery was made about 18 miles from Arden Villas, in a secluded area near the Timberscan apartments. A body was found in Orlando, in an overgrown bush amongst trash, and it was later confirmed to be that of Mia's. The location where she was discovered was particularly unsettling, as it was known that Armando had once lived in the area. The discovery of Mia's body brought a sense of closure to the search, but it also raised more questions. Mia had been bound with duct tape around her hands, feet, and mouth. She was found dressed in a robe, jeans, and a bra, with her bag nearby containing the shirt she had been wearing the day she vanished, along with her ID. Despite the grave circumstances, Mia's family took some comfort in the fact that her remains were finally found. Her grandmother spoke of finding a small sense of peace, even amid the overwhelming grief. An autopsy later revealed that Mia's death was a homicide, though the exact cause could not be determined due to the state of decomposition. There were no signs of trauma or SA, but DNA evidence from Armando's body confirmed his involvement, and tests revealed they found the presence of Mia's blood and hair on Armando. The same black duct tape that was found around Mia's body was also found in his car. Additionally, there were signs of a struggle, with bite marks and other injuries on Armando, suggesting a violent confrontation. The investigation highlighted missed security measures, with residents raising concerns about maintenance staff access and improper use of new key fobs before Mia's disappearance. Protests at Arden Villas pointed out long-standing security issues like lack of cameras, poor lighting, and inadequate maintenance. One resident voiced unease about maintenance staff having unrestricted access to apartments, especially after the new key fobs were introduced, which allowed entry into Mia's apartment. When you think about it, residents in apartment complexes go to sleep at night unaware that someone could have unrestricted access to their homes. On October 15th, Mia was laid to rest in a ceremony attended by thousands, where mourners wore her favorite color, blue. However, the aftermath of the case led to scrutiny of the investigation itself. 2 deputies involved in the case were found to have violated department policies, which contributed to delays in treating Mia as a missing person. It was found that Deputy Samir Paulino did not follow the correct procedure during his investigation of the apartment, failing to report key details like blood on the pillow and broken jewelry to his supervisor, Corporal Kenneth Dale. As a result, Mia was classified as a voluntary missing person rather than an endangered one, preventing the Criminal Investigations Division from being alerted. The sheriff's office stated that Deputy Samir was given a 150-hour unpaid suspension as punishment, while his supervisor, Corporal Kenneth, was found to have breached department policies and received a 10-hour unpaid suspension. The sheriff's office acknowledged that mistakes were made and implemented changes to ensure future cases would be handled more promptly and effectively. As part of the ongoing response to Mia's case, her family pursued legal action against the apartment complex and the sheriff's office, claiming mishandling of the investigation. In a public statement, the Arden Villas apartment complex vowed to improve security, but Mia's family was disappointed by the lack of immediate support during the crisis. In her honor, they launched the Mia Marcano Foundation to support missing persons' families and advocate for safety reforms. Mia's birthday was declared Mia Marcano Day in Pembroke Pines, and Mia's law was passed in 2022, enforcing stricter security measures for rental properties. The law mandates background checks for potential employees, barring those with violent criminal histories or sexual offenses. It also mandates keeping a record of who has keys to each apartment and giving tenants a 24-hour notice before maintenance enters, instead of the previous 12-hour notice. Despite these efforts, Mia's family struggled with deep grief and the pain of unanswered questions and justice denied. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for more true crime content. See you next time.